Hi. Just waiting for some more people. Hello, hello. Just waiting for some more people to join us. Hello. Just waiting for more people. You weren't actually the first comment, Nevin, so hello, Bree. We're just waiting for a few more people. Hello, Ted. We'll give it another minute or so. Hey, Tristan. Welcome, welcome. Just waiting for more people. Let people know that we're live. We're gonna talk with Thadel Wilson. Is it snowing where you are, Tristan? Would you rather cold with the snow or cold without the snow? What would you prefer? Good night, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Hello. Welcome to All Things Pan. I am your host, Danielle George. We are sponsored by Pantastics868, so make sure you check them out on Instagram. They have everything from tenor sticks all the way to bass sticks. So check them out. If you need new sticks or want to try something new, make sure you check them out. So I see a few new faces on here. So normally on this page, we talk to pannists, arrangers, tuners, pan enthusiasts about everything pan. So I'm super excited, on that note, I'm super excited to invite, if he's on here, yeah. Right. Cold with the snow. Interesting. I rather cold without the snow. Hello, Thadel. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I asked the question earlier. What would you rather, cold with the snow or cold without the snow?
You can pause it. You said cold with
the snow or cold without the snow?
with the snow, but the road's clear.
Yes. I'll take that answer. Yeah.
With the road's clear. That's a major key.
Also, very true. Very true. So we just listened to the band that you arranged, New Dimensions, full of vibe. Mm-hmm. Loved it. But we will talk more about your band a bit later. We're going to talk about you. We're here to get to know you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. So before we get started, I just want to let you know that our guests are going to have the opportunity to ask you a bit of questions. So you may be put in the hot seat for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Okay. So let's start off easy. Who is
Uh,
Thadel and who introduced you to Pan?
um, who introduced me to Pan? My dad. My
Yeah.
dad's just here in the back.
Okay.
Terrence. Uh,
Okay.
he's the head of OSA right now, of the Board of Ontario Steel Pan Association, and
Nice.
pretty much started off with playing in silhouettes.
Okay.
My dad would play with silhouettes and Afro Pan and a fantasy for a small portion back in the days. So I would just kind of follow him along to practice, and I was just always at practice. Just somehow, somewhere, I was just always at practice. And then after I remember, one summer I went with Jesse Ketchum Steel Orchestra. It's like a steel pan summer camp, and they
Mm-hmm.
participate in the local panorama. And those are like 2 or 3 like really awesome years that really like had me like locked into like, yes, I want to continue to play pen and go further.
Nice. So who is Thadel Wilson? Who's the man?
Um, just easy going.
Yeah.
I'm all about community, anything like teamwork, anything to really just kind of come together and just get something accomplished and just have fun while doing so. I'm definitely for it. Now in COVID, everything's pretty laxed right now in terms of
Yeah.
what we're used to. So something that's going on in my personal life, I just started a massage therapy course.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So
Nice.
by like fall next year, I should be complete and I should be certified. So I'm very interested in that portion as I used to run track and play basketball. So I understand the
Okay.
importance of how it could kind of affect other people. So that's what
Okay.
I
So
like about the music.
okay. So are you gonna be when you're done? Are you looking more towards sports massage therapy or just general?
Um, just general, just
General.
general.
Okay.
Yeah, I might
Okay.
dibble and dabble in sports a little bit, but I still have both of those available.
Okay. I see Shrell and Wendy joined us. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
connected.
So how did you get into arranging? Who forced you? Who forced your hand into arranging?
Um, it's funny because I was actually appointed. So when I my first opportunity to arrange was with Jesse Ketchum,
Okay.
and I can't even remember how long ago it was, but you remember the song "Dirty Wine"? Tony Mac.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
that was the first song I did for the kids.
Okay.
They absolutely loved it. They still play to this day. And
Nice.
I didn't arrange for a few years after that when I actually got to like arrange like for like a panorama competition.
Mm-hmm.
I was appointed arranger alongside Richard and Denise, who are
Okay.
also my co-arrangers. So in New Dimension, we have a 3 arranger system, if you will.
Right.
And yeah, we were just appointed. We
Okay.
just wanted to kind of make a youth shift and kind of build within, just try something different.
Mm-hmm.
And we're 5 years in, and we've definitely come a long way from where we started in terms of like learning the importance of being prepared, uh,
Mm-hmm.
even how we can kind of collaborate our thoughts together to make
Mm-hmm.
it seem a little bit more seamless. Those are
Okay.
different things that we have to figure out along the way.
Right. So when you guys are arranging, do you is there certain influences that you kind of go towards, or is it just what you feel? Even though when you're picking songs, is that a group effort, or is that do you guys kind of pick a few songs and just be like, these are the choices you have?
Yeah, yeah. We'll pick a few songs. We'll probably like try to get like 3, and then kind of like we'll each do a verse and chorus for it, and whichever one we're kind of feeling the vibes with, we'll kind of
Hmm.
build on that one.
Okay. So for you personally, is there any arranger that you look towards, or any musical influences for you when you come up with your arrangements?
Um, yeah, like yeah, try to like take from a little bit from everybody, like in terms of like who I really like.
Hmm.
Gotta mention Professor Fillmore,
Yes.
um, Al Alos. played a lot of music for him. I really like his
Hmm.
style.
Okay.
Um, if I had to say two more, I'd say Andre White
Mm.
and Darren Shepherd. Yeah, Darren
Okay.
Shepherd.
Haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So we're gonna stick to arranging for a bit. If
Hmm.
you had the option to arrange for any band in the world, who would you want to arrange for?
Oh man, it's such like a daunting, like big responsibility.
Hmm.
Especially the larger you go up in size of band.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, any band would be like a great privilege. Any band that's in
Okay.
Trinidad would be a great privilege, only because it's like a super step in like a different direction.
Hmm.
Um, one band I would like to be a part of on like a greater level.
Hmm.
Um, I can't narrow it down. I can't
You
narrow it
can't?
down. I really can't. No.
Okay. So how about we do this? Would you
Yeah.
want to arrange for a small band first, or a large band, medium band, single
Yeah, probably
band?
like medium to get like my
Okay.
feet wet first, and then after it kind of just see because like I said, it's like a great responsibility, and you have all the years of history of like each band to like kind of
Hmm.
like carry the integrity for it.
Right.
Hmm.
Good to know. Anyone listening, if you have any connections, help them out. So, I also, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, you're also an educator for Pan?
Kind
Yeah.
of like workshops. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, have you been able, since we're in the pandemic, have you been able to do any workshops or anything kind of close?
No, not at all.
No.
Not
No.
at all. Granted, like any workshop initiatives were kind of put on by New Dimension, the band,
Hmm.
and we just haven't had necessarily just COVID has prevented us from coming together to, create that kind of environment
Right.
for other people, right?
Right. Okay. Have you done any like Pan lessons, or are you just in the workshop? Just
Um, well, pan lessons is what I was
yeah, like
referring
just
to
one on
earlier
one.
for the workshops.
Just one
Uh,
on one.
one on one, no,
Yeah. No? Okay. Is it
no.
something you've been wanting to do or just not in your
It's one on one. How I feel about one on one, honestly, like there's a different element that comes when you're in a band,
okay.
right? So
Yeah.
just having more people to have that support system and whatnot. Like I said, I'm big on teamwork, so
Yeah.
the more the merrier, right?
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Gonna keep that in mind for you. I know you've traveled to New York, Miami, Trinidad to play Pan.
Yeah.
What were those experiences like for you?
Those were actually really, really cool experiences
Yeah.
because like the order that it came in, like I
Mm-hmm.
first went to I first played Penn in Miami. That was my first international stop with Foster
Okay.
in like I want to say 2009, 10, around there.
Right.
I was like now finishing high school. It was a really, really cool opportunity. And Penn, I was interested to see how Penn was received in Miami.
Right.
And then after that, I got a chance to go with Pan Fantasy to New York to play over there. I also played with Crossfire for a few
Okay.
years. So it was interesting to see how it's interpreted over there. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I really like. I would say it's Pan in New York is a little bit more edgier. I don't know if that's the right
Oh,
word, but like it
okay.
has a little bit more like the spunk, the kind of attitude that like New York carries.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so like a little bit more like flair, if you will, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, and the Dorados, yes. I also played with Dorados for 1 year.
Okay.
And then after my first opportunity to play in Trinidad
Mm-hmm.
was with Phase Two and
Okay.
and the Harmonites. So how it came about is my cousin knows that I play pan, and he kind of connected me to whoever I needed to be connected with. And before you do
Right.
it, I'm like in the pan yard in the middle of the day time, just like learning the song and harmonize. So I learned the
Oh.
song. I learned like majority of the song, went to practice later that night. And then
Mm-hmm.
after, this is my first time being in Trinidad in a long time. So I really wanted to get to like an opportunity to see the other pan yards.
Right.
And I realized quickly as I was learning the song, I'm like, oh my gosh, I might not be able to like leave to like, I have to be at practice, right? So I might
Right.
not get to check out the other bands. Thankfully, my dad's a pan yard hopper, so we got to go check out all the different pan yards. So when we got
Right.
to Phase 2 pan yard, that was the year they played Archbishop of Penn,
Yeah.
and epic. Like my first experience walking into the pan yard was hearing the intro, and like I haven't heard big band on like that level. It's like a feeling more than like a hearing, you know?
Right. Did you cry?
Um
Did you have a
no,
tear?
no tears, no tears. So Andre Rouse, who is one of my arrangers, arranger for Souls of Steel Orchestra.
Yeah.
He was the prior arranger for New Dimension also.
Okay.
He played four pen with Phase 2 year after year. So I was able to just kind of get in that way, and I ended up playing with Phase 2 for that panorama. Great
So you didn't
experience.
get cut. That's a good thing.
I didn't get cut. I was nervous at one point in time. I won't lie. I was pretty nervous at one point in time, but no, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Nice, nice. So did you play pan for all panoramas in Miami, New York, and Trinidad, or was it just
Yeah, they were all panorama
uh,
events.
so what was the differences in the experience between the three that you if you remember?
Um, the difference is, I would probably say the amount of time. I
Mm,
mean, like each opportunity was like a different span of time allotted
mhm.
to
Right.
prepare for it. And so like for example, like my trip to Miami, like it was in the middle of like October school, so I had to like I was away for school for like a whole week. Mind you, as a
Oh
kid,
wow.
I'm excited about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But in Miami, I played a bass, and that was I can't really gauge the competition levels differently because I was so
Hmm.
immersed in the band that I was with then.
Right.
But just the preparation and the amount of dedication that we put into the practicing that year,
Hmm.
um, it's a different feeling when you've played with a band that wins, like in terms of how you prepare for it. And it
Hmm.
was like rigorous amounts of like the drilling just feels different, if you will.
Right. Right.
So that
Okay.
was fun. New York was super eye-opening because New York's like our neighbors, right?
Yeah.
And when I got there, it was so impressive just to see how many bands they had and
Hmm.
just the level of like that every single band was at, right?
Right.
Panorama Day, they pull out the full stops and everything, and just the experience of going on their stage was really dope.
Hmm.
And then
Interesting.
and now you have the Mecca that you've always heard
Yeah.
about. When you hear about that, you have Trinidad.
Yeah.
And honestly, the experience of the drag is really like the highlight. Aside from like when the bright lights come on stage, where people always tell
Hmm.
you, oh, when the bright lights come on, like
Yeah.
that's when you know the nerves are gonna hit, and you're really there.
Yeah.
Aside from actually being on stage, the experience on the drag is exactly what I love.
Nice. Nice. So you're gonna go back in 2022? It depends what year we're
2022,
in.
yeah. Yes. I
Yeah.
deserve it. I'll
All
play
right.
first. I'll play first.
Okay. So we're gonna take a trip. We're gonna get a group of people and just go one time.
Yeah, I'm with it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
So what is from what I know, you play tenor.
Hmm.
Is that your go-to pan, or is that, wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Is that your first love?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and yes.
Have
Um,
you played any other pans? Have you cheated on your pan?
I have dibbled and dabbled, explored.
Okay, okay, okay.
There was a certain point in time, like at first I was known for like playing tenor pan a lot,
Hmm.
and after I wanted to kind of experience different styles of arrangings and just see what it's like in different pan yards. So I ended up playing with like first like 3 bands a year, and then after
Right.
it like grew to like 5 bands, and then after it was one year where it was like 7 bands.
Right.
So it was a lot, and in that I was just kind of like challenging myself to just learn more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So I've played bass, guitar, 4 pan, quads, seconds, double tenor. Double tenor was a headache.
That's what I've
Um,
been hearing, but although I'm also hearing that people love double tenor, so I'm just like, how?
yeah, yeah, it's like a very bittersweet relationship. It's a very
Yeah,
bittersweet relationship.
yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
but I
So,
definitely would love and feel most comfortable behind a tenor pan.
tenor pan. Do you like your high C, your low C? Is there a certain tenor pan you like, or is it just?
Uh, it's honestly, I'm the
Yeah.
just give me whatever. Uh,
Okay.
because I was playing with so many different bands, when I would get to my last band, at least
Mm-hmm.
the one that's closest to my house, Silhouettes,
Yeah.
um, there wouldn't be much, there wouldn't be the same tenor pan left over like in the cases. So I would
Right.
just have to, pick whatever was there and just kind of go with that, right? So it was a high C some days, it was a low C some days, so you just have to adapt. But if I had a
Right.
pick, I would definitely get a low C.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
just to get that
Yeah.
range with the bass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it, but I also don't like it. I have a love-hate relationship with the low C. I don't know what it is.
Uh,
We're getting near the end. What advice have you received that you kind of use to your life today in Pan or in just in life in general?
in general,
Yeah,
um, nothing's impossible.
I like
That's a
that.
big one, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Just to kind of like bring yourself, kind of keep yourself grounded when
Mm-hmm.
things are happening or when you feel discouraged. So I saw a video somewhere of Duvan mentioning like anything can be played on pan, and he we know he's a wizard when it comes to it, and he's done a great demonstration in terms of showing what the range is of steel pan, and
Right.
really like opening up everybody's mind to it, right?
Yeah.
So seeing people like him and seeing it done, it just gives you just a little bit more motivation just to try different things, experiment, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Um, one more piece of information or advice I would give
Mm-hmm.
is to I forgot I forgot, I'm like, the name is escaping me, who I got this piece of advice from, but it
Yeah.
was to throw away your shame box.
Ah.
So I was doing a show last year with Souls of Steel, put it
Mm-hmm.
on, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
Christmas show. And I was responsible for like 3 songs or whatever, and I practiced different schemes and all that type of stuff. And then after, when I actually played, like, nurses have only taken over me during a performance like twice ever, and
Right.
it happened. So like my mind just went blank. I was like losing timing. Like it just didn't
Oh
feel
wow.
right. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, something was off, right? So I felt kind
Yeah.
of down about the performance. But he came to me after and he let me know that there's only a certain amount of people that, like, it takes courage to even perform or to even, like, kind
Mm-hmm.
of show yourself that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fair.
just take that, throw it out the window, and just know that you got it.
Nice. Gonna take that. I'm gonna take that advice with me because
Yes.
as a pan player, that it tends to happen. Wendy has a comment. Trinidad International Panorama Thailand was on 4 panoramas, and he's very versatile on all pans. He's going to be great arranger one day.
Shout
Proud
out
of you.
Wendy.
Yes, and she also mentioned you're an amazing 4 pan player. So I got to hear that one day.
Thank you. Yes. It's actually Andre Rouse who inspired me to play for Pan like a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
In his band Soldier Steel, I just kind of like shifted from steel pan, and to get me in like a different comfort zone, I kind of
Hmm.
shifted over to 4 pan. So big up my cello section from Souls.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, what advice would you give upcoming panists or arrangers or just in the pan world? What advice would you give? Let's say
Um,
your students. If it was a student, what advice would you give to your students?
if you haven't already, just like anything else, do your homework.
Mm,
Do your homework. have an idea of what has come before you so that you have a better idea of what you gravitate to and kind of can draw inspiration from.
Mm-hmm.
And with also keeping true to what has come from before, but also try to push the limits of where it can go, try
Nice.
something different and put your own sauce on it.
Nice, nice. I like that. I like that. So, since we got to know you a little bit,
Yeah.
give us a fun fact about yourself that no one else knows. But keep it PG, please.
A fun fact about myself that no one knows.
Yeah.
Um, on the spot, oh man, honestly, I could live off of peanut butter and like peanut butter and bread forever.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love peanut butter.
Nice. That's
Um,
always been a thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
always, always, always
Nice,
been a
nice,
thing. Oh,
nice.
one thing, if you don't know me,
Yeah.
I'll give you one more. One more fact, if you don't know me, I used to be like the nuts man in the local community. So first, my dad used to be the nuts man.
Uh-huh.
After he kind of passed off the bag to me. So literally, like during practice, I would be selling nuts. I would go to other pan yards and like sell nuts. So yeah, that's a cool fact about me. I was like 12 selling nuts and like making like $20 a day.
What kind? Was it just
Salted,
salted?
the salted roasted nuts.
Huh.
You'd be surprised how much like nuts is a pretty big part of the pan yard
Yeah,
community.
it is. Oh my goodness. So,
Exactly.
if you don't mind,
Yeah.
would you like to play us a song?
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, give
Yay.
me a second.
Okay. And while you get ready, this is the question portion. So you can put him in the hot seat. He can't go anywhere. So get your questions ready. We'll get one song out from him.
Yeah. Yay.
That was good. That was good. Would you pick songs for yourself? Do you go more pop? Do you just go what you feel? Do you do soca,
Um,
reggae?
Honestly, like I grew up on like a lot of soca and like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like hip hop and R&B. So
Mm-hmm.
that's usually my picks.
Okay.
I'm I've with verses that I'm doing with Majid. I'm kind of using that as a tool for myself to like challenge myself to get out of the box sometimes,
Mm.
which is why we kind of like did every episode with a different genre so that we can kind
Right.
of explore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the one that we were supposed to have that is going to be rescheduled shortly is the reggae edition
Right.
of Dub Shem. It's going to be the reggae edition, and then after I believe we're gonna have a very short turnaround so that we can do an R&B edition for Valentine's Day.
Yay! R&B is my favorite. Sorry, it's just
Yeah, man. Like it's
yeah.
I guess I would say playing music that I grew up on at a young age helped
Mm-hmm.
me like really get immersed in it.
Yeah.
My days with Jesse Ketchum, I remember playing Aloes Puff arranged Nutcracker and
Right.
Tony Braxton Unbreak My Heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember one of the other songs we did was Who Let the Dogs Out. Remember Who
I
Let the
mean,
Dogs Out was
everyone did that song. Everyone did that song.
right? So I was like, but that song was like super epic, like switching, turning the pan around.
Mm-hmm.
If I find the footage, I promise I will post it.
And I will share it. When you do find a new date for your reggae verses, let me know and I will share it for you.
I will do.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. There are a couple questions that came in
Hmm.
from Kenneth. What is with your passion for music and your new passion for massage therapy, though even sorry, about the possibility of creating an avenue for both simultaneous site. I can't even speak today.
Have you
uh,
ever thought of the possibility of creating an avenue for both simultaneously, somewhat along the lines of music therapy, but on the side of massage musical therapy?
ooh,
That is a really good question.
that is a
And
really good
I
question.
have not thought of it yet in terms of how to directly correlate it, but
Mm-hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because therapy comes in many different forms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how it is in Canada, man. They view like the
Yeah.
steel pen as like super exotic and whatnot. So with that exotic vibe comes a therapeutic feeling, right?
Right. Right.
So I'll definitely find a way to infuse the two, even if it's just like steel pan music playing in the back, like Souls of Steel album or Pan Fantasy album or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Or
something
even
that's
Andre
really
White or Victor Provost.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Set the
Yeah.
mood. Set the mood.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, we're expanding your business already.
Dang.
There's another question by Nevin. Why did you select a proper team? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had a feeling I'd get a question about this.
I was gonna ask you about it,
To
but you know.
be honest with you, I was not like big into soccer. Like my dad played soccer like growing up, but like
Hmm.
I never played soccer myself. There was just
Hmm.
I was surrounded by basketball.
Okay.
Um, when it comes to actual soccer sides, my side is Tottenham, but I'm not like a diehard fan. So like when it comes to like jerseys and stuff, I just like the look of it. It feels good, like it looks good. So
Okay.
that's why I wear the jersey. I got it on sale. I got it on sale. That's the
You got it
honest.
on sale. Yeah. Fair enough. Um, is there any before? I'm trying to think. So those that don't know about verses,
Hmm.
how did that come about, and why did you decide to do it?
So myself and Majid, who is a fellow band member of New Dimension and Souls of Steel
Hmm.
Orchestra, this is like middle of COVID. He hit me up randomly. He's like, "Hey, you want to do like a versus battle, inspired by the verses that are going on, right?"
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, sure, right."
Hmm.
I had no idea about format, but we had a quick conversation about how we would go about doing it, and then
Right.
after, my mind started thinking about what are the other things that have come from doing a versus, because
Hmm.
I noticed, with the initial verses that were going on, the streaming numbers would go up right after. A lot more people would know, like, have more information about their discography and stuff like that. So,
Right.
how could we flip that? So we flipped it by choosing a specific genre, and each of us would pick 4 songs apiece and kind of go back and forth playing the song, right?
Hmm.
And the fifth song would be chosen by the viewers in
Okay.
terms of which artist would be responsible for the fifth song. So, for example, we did the vote for the reggae version, and Bears Hammond was the
Nice.
popular choice, right?
Nice.
So we
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
have to pick a Bears Hammond song for the fifth song, and then after we
Okay.
kind of just leave it up for discussion amongst the people, right? I think a fun part of panorama and just competition in general is just the different opinions and the conversation that comes up afterwards, right?
Hmm. Nice. So are you gonna continue doing versus like prior when lockdown is done? Let me just put it that way. Are you gonna
Yeah,
continue doing it? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, are gonna continue doing it. Honestly, I signed on to do it not only to expand my range in terms of different songs in terms of song selection, but I wanted to get
Hmm.
more comfortable in terms of being in front of a camera and performing.
Right.
Um, we don't know how long this COVID thing's gonna be going on, so
Yeah.
trying to move with the times. And last but not least, just learning the background portion of doing everything social media, which is why I have to give you your props.
Thank
That's a
you.
job in itself. It's
Thank you.
definitely
Thank
a
you.
job in itself, to keep
Yeah.
up with all the posting and making sure that you're upping the quality of what's going on, just kind of keeping up, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
there's a lot of different things that I could learn in doing the verses.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And I see Majid mentioned, plus I want to do something with him because one of the motivations in Toronto. Oh, thank you.
Well, look at
Thank
that.
you. Yeah. Myself and Majid have been playing pan together ever since those same Jesse Ketchum days. When I told you I played Who Let the Dogs Out and Unbreak
Yeah.
My Heart, all of those, like
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
we were in the same band at that time, right? So
Nice. Nice.
we're just kind of carrying it forward.
Yeah. So I'm gonna speak it into existence that COVID will be done and
Yes,
lockdown will be over.
yes, please.
Have you ever thought about doing a band versus like band versus band in Toronto?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
What I want there to be more like things like a musical showcase versus like a
Hmm.
competition. Granted, like
Hmm.
we're human and it's really hard for
Yeah.
us to not compare things. So
Right.
that will come regardless, but just
Right.
creating a different environment to only because every band is in like such a different, it's harder to make the playing field even in
Right.
Toronto,
Okay.
considering numerous factors, right? In terms of
Hmm.
size of bands, quality of bands, all that type of thing, right? But
Hmm.
every band has something to bring to the table. So
Right.
I definitely want to put forth more like kind of just frame the perception that it's not a competition
Hmm. Yeah.
and just kind of like here's a showcase, here's what we've been working on, and something that we can share with the community to kind of build awareness about the instrument.
Yeah. For sure. Because that's something um, Calgary Carnival does every year. So we don't have a lot of bands, but the few that we have, we just get together and just I think how do they do it? I think each band gets half an hour and you just go around in a circle. So everyone is in the middle and they're just literally just rotating.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
perfect.
And they've
It's
been doing it
exciting.
they've been doing it for a while and it's been fun.
Yes, that's a nice
Yeah.
like this. That reminds me of the drag in Trinidad. Like, instead
There
of
you
like
go.
turning around and seeing a band, you just gotta walk a little bit and you'll see another band, right?
Hmm.
So, creating maybe a stationary drag that might be something cool.
Yeah.
Uh, over here, right? There's just so
Hmm.
many different possibilities, and especially when we do things do ease up with the whole COVID. I
Hmm.
feel like there's just gonna be like a great need for just tourism and culture, right?
Right.
So I feel
Right.
like um, Pan has a big influence and carries a lot when it comes to culture and sharing information and stuff like that.
Right, right. I see there's another comment for you. You can play anything, hey?
Uh, I try. I really try.
You try? You try? Have you
Yeah.
tried country by any chance?
The closest country was Old Town Road, to be honest.
Oh,
That's where
okay. That's where it starts and ends. Fair enough.
it,
Fair enough. Is there anything else you want everyone to know? Anything coming up? Any projects? Any albums?
um, nope, nothing
No?
personal. No, actually, hold on. I take
Okay,
that back.
okay, okay.
So, um, I've been mentioning Souls of Steel Orchestra. Souls of Steel Orchestra is another steel band that I am a part of that is ran by Andre Rouse, and
Okay,
we did a an album a few years back. It's on
okay,
all your streaming services. It's called The Arrival,
okay. Gonna write that down.
and yeah, so Souls of Steel Orchestra. I will type
Okay.
it in the group chat. You guys can
Yes, please.
run those numbers up, take a listen. It's really, really good music. I
Mm-hmm.
had a solo
Okay.
somewhere in there, but it was a
On
really
the
cool
tenor or on
experience.
the quads?
It was a tenor. It was a great experience in terms of recording an album. I never
Mm-hmm.
did it before, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's one thing I wanted to mention. The other thing I wanted to mention is to follow New Dimension Steel Orchestra on all social media, and make sure you subscribe on the YouTube.
yeah. Right.
Anything that I do, I'm gonna try my best to put it through New Dimension Steel Orchestra. I
Yeah.
kind of want to use the social media to kind of bring more awareness to the members that are in the
Mm-hmm.
band that are doing anything, whether it's pan related or not pan related, as long as it's community driven. Like I want to bring attention to it.
Yeah.
So follow those streams and you'll see that. And follow Pan Arts Network. Yeah,
Yes.
follow Pan Arts Network.
Yeah.
Um,
They have a another talk or like a panel
yes,
talk. I think is it Saturday?
yes.
Yeah.
So they had a really dope discussion last Friday, and they're gonna have another
Hmm.
dope discussion coming up.
Yeah.
But I say follow Pan Arts Network only because a lot of people don't necessarily know where the mediums to follow within Toronto to find out about what's going on pan related in Toronto. So if
Hmm.
you follow New Dimension Steel Orchestra, Souls of Steel Network, Souls of Steel Orchestra, um, and also Pan Arts Network and Afro Pan Network, and Pan Fantasy, and OSA. OSA is the most important one, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Nice, nice,
Yes,
nice.
and Earl. Yes, sorry,
Oh,
my dad's reminding me. And
it's all good. It's all good. That's what he's there for. Yes.
E-Man, you already know about E-Man.
I feel like he's the president of Pan in Toronto. He's
Yo, he
everywhere.
does the thing, man. He does the thing, man. He's been
He's
around
everywhere.
the dudes, man. Yes, I
Oh
see
my
Jesse
goodness.
Q mentioned there is a New Dimension Steel Orchestra in Grenada. So
Hmm.
be mindful of that when you are searching. Look into both of them. We're both dope. Trust me, I've checked out New Dimension in Grenada a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Have you
Cassie,
ever thought
I
of
want
going to
to
Grenada to play for that same band?
pardon?
Have you thought about going to Grenada to play for the same band? New
Yes.
Dimensions, yeah?
Actually, it was in the plan to go to Grenada last August for my first Grenada Carnival. So I
Hmm.
would have found a way to play Pan somehow, and COVID came about, right?
I mean, yeah.
COVID came
I
about, right? So we just kind of have to like reframe everything. But playing with New Dimension in Grenada is on the bucket list, and who knows, probably create some type of connection,
yeah,
big New Dimension, project
that would
or
be
something,
awesome.
right?
That
The
would be
the
awesome.
opportunities are endless, really.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Have you thought about doing an album for yourself?
No.
No? Is there a reason? Just not into it?
Not
Yeah.
into it, not into it as much to invest that my energy into it.
Right, right.
But the older that we get, the more that people are talking about different streams of income, and as a
Hmm.
musician, that seems like a very viable option. So
Yeah.
I would want to do it, but I would want to do it with a greater purpose than to just have an album out.
Hmm.
So if it does come to me, I'm sure I'll definitely tackle it. But like
Dad,
I
are you
mentioned
listening?
before,
Is your dad
I like to
listening?
do more collaborative things. Yeah, my dad's listening.
Good. So since we missed Caravana
Hmm.
last year, were you thinking, or what song were you thinking of doing with your band, or are you thinking about doing one for your band now? Are you in that thought process right now?
That's not in the thought process. I'm kind of in the
Okay.
same thought process as I was before because people in the band were always asking kind of early, like especially once Panorama finishes in Trinidad, they're always like, "What song are
Hmm.
we going with?"
Right.
Um, Myself, Richard, and Denise were kind of all on the same boat where we were like, we didn't know if we want to pick a song from this year, if we wanted to play an old song
Right.
or what, right?
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because
Yeah.
I really believe when it comes to competitions in
Hmm.
just in different places, they're all different and different things like recency bias in terms of how recent the song is kind of
Right.
plays into the final scores
Hmm.
sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay.
So but personally, I think I was leaning more towards an older song and just trying something new that way. So
Hmm.
we'll see what comes about. I have no
Yeah.
idea as of now.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. How about for yourself? Is there any new soca song or any song that you're kind of feeling that you would like to play for yourself?
Oh man. I don't necessarily want to play it for myself, but I want to hear it on Pan.
Okay.
It's a new Farmer Nappy song, Backyard Jam.
Do we send you some links?
I
There's
want
so
to
many
hear
people that played it already.
I want to hear, yes, please.
Okay.
I've missed some stuff, but that's my song. I always hear it. My dad's always playing like Trinidad radio, and that song's
Yeah.
always playing. But honestly, I was up to date with soca from going to fets, and there's no more
Hmm.
fets. So like, I'm kind of out of the loop a little bit.
Let me tell you, go to Twitch. It will help
Yeah,
you out.
got it, got it, got it.
Yeah, go to Twitch.
Gotta
The
go
amount
check
of
out
soca songs being played on
right.
Twitch. Yeah. Well, we're near the end of our interview. I appreciate you coming on. It was great. It was so much
Okay.
fun.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, I only watched a snippet of the video that when you received your pen,
Hmm.
your personalized pen. How
Yeah.
like can you just rehash again how important and like what that experience was in getting your own pen? Because that's something that like I really want. I want a pen from Gussie P. And
I cried. It was in the it it's 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 like Christmas. It is amazing. The pan sings, like it sings. You don't have to hit it too hard. It's
perfect.
behind me right now, actually. It's right behind me.
Yeah.
It's my new baby. Yeah. And I suggest you get, I don't know if you have a case, but get one of the cases that he sells. They're amazing.
Yeah.
I can show it to you actually.
Package deal always.
Yeah. Hold on. I get it for you. So this is the case I got.
Hey.
Yeah. And then inside there's like a little part for your sticks. If you have like paper or cards you want to put in, you can stick it in there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely when everything opens back up, that's gonna be one of my first like big purchases for myself.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah,
like treat myself.
definitely.
I'm planning on treating myself a little bit more going forward.
Yeah,
So that'll be
definitely.
one of the treats for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you need his info, I can send it to you. I'll tell him you're coming.
I follow him already, man. It's just to send off a
Okay.
deep when I'm closer to when I'm ready, you know?
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. His pens are amazing.
Yes,
I
yes. I
I
agree.
I try to like send a lot of people his way and he's kind of annoyed by that. But I
Mm.
mean, your pens are great.
Yeah,
Why?
you look good. Yeah, you look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for
All
coming on
right,
our
thank you
show.
for having me, you know?
Getting, of course, we'll definitely look out for the new date for Versus. I will share it. I will send you some pan videos that you need to watch.
Please, I'm gonna watch him tonight.
Good. So everyone needs to follow New Dimension Toronto and Grenada.
Yeah, yes.
Needs to go on, is it Spotify?
Spotify. I'm pretty sure
Spotify.
it's on Apple Music too. And
Okay.
stream
And
The
it's
Arrival, Souls of Steel Orchestra.
awesome. What else is going on? We need to follow Pan
The
Arts Network.
Network. They're gonna have a discussion this weekend on Saturday at 1.
Is it 7? 1? Is it 1 p.m.?
I believe it's 1 p.m. Don't
1
quote
p.m.?
me on the time.
Yeah, don't
If you
quote
follow
us. Don't quote us.
you'll have information.
Yeah, go follow them to get the info because we don't want to steer you guys wrong. Who else should we follow?
Follow
Pan
Eman.
Art. Yes, Eman. Yep. And then the organization your dad's a part of? What
OSA.
is that? OSA. Awesome.
OSA. Ontario Steel Pan Association.
Awesome. So we'll definitely do that for you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah, you have a good night.
All right, enjoy the night, yo. Take it easy,
Thanks.
guys.
Have a good night, guys. And make sure you guys tune in next week. We're gonna have another open discussion. So it might get a little heated. Might a little get heated again. So, oh, Wendy corrected us. 1 p.m. on Saturday. That's Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, so next week will be another open discussion and have a good night.